Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are out there. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
Greetings. It's so good to see you. It's January 17th, 2020. We're going to write a little bit of code today. How we doing there, chat room? Good to see you. NetCodes is here. MBB, look at that gritty hanging out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Job in PA. Jeff Widmer. Hello, hello. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you. Sinad Meskin, good morning. Kabazi. Kabazi's been busy. Oh, my. Thank you so much. It's good to see you this fine morning. Let's keep going around the horn. GG Feds, good morning. Storm Shouts. Hello, hello. Alessandro Silva, good morning to you. Pip Daddy G, Eternal Dev Coder, Encoding. Hey. Hello, where did Encoding go? There you go. Hello, good morning from Chile. Good to see you. Hangover X. All right. There you go. Smab is barely there. All right. We'll get you here. We'll get you here, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's great to have a bunch of folks here tuning in early. Q Macro 99. Hello, hello. Good afternoon to you, my friend. Q Macro 99 is another member of the Live Coders team. How's it going? You've had a busy day today. I've been watching, keeping an eye on things over there doing, right? You have an SAP day that you're hosting? Tremendous. Best of luck to you, my friend. Make sure you check out Q Macro 99. Another member of the team. There we go. Get that shout out in there. gosh, we've been working on our Blazor controls. We've been doing things with getting web forms components ready for folks that want to do Blazor. And I think we're there. We've discovered a first set of features we want to build for our TreeView control, and I think we want to start going through and looking at that. We've got some discussion that our friend Kabazi here started kicking up on the project around security controls, login controls that we need to take a look at, and I want to discuss with you, chat room, before we get too far into it, so that we know what we're getting into.
Jobinpa just resubscribed for 4 months.
4 months. Thank you so much for that support. Really appreciate that. And we're going to make a donation to code.org. And you know what, friends? I think we've got something else to do as well. At SAP, busy indeed and fun. Always fun learning a ton from, thank you, from me and the rest of the folks. And you're very welcome for the shout out right there from QMacro99. CJ Aliaga is here. Happy Coding Friday. Yes, we're going to have a very happy Coding Friday. Twitchloff says, maybe I should try some ASMR while coding. Well then, let me tell you, friends, we're going to write a little bit of code together, and it's going to be so magical. It's going to be so wonderful. Thank you for tuning in. Something like that. Before I start the project, you have a bit of a big beginner question. You just started learning C# for IT right here for an IT capstone class. How can you create a web app, just something to get you started, not too much details? Storm shouts, have I got an answer for you? If you're doing C#, so you're going to be doing ASP.NET. Let's answer your question here real quick, and we can get you pointed in the right direction. Let me arrange my browser windows here so I can show you just a little bit. Of course, we have 2 workshops out there that are available about ASP.NET Core. Check them out on YouTube. If you head over to the YouTube channel, you can find that. youtube.com/C#Fritz. And if you sort the videos by the preferred... Oh, thank you for putting... there it is. There's Storm Shout's question. If you put... Hello. If you put the videos in most played order, it's the top played video on the channel. Let me go over here and let me show you. The way to get your hands on C#, ASP.NET real easy is, of course, go to .NET, download it here, and it'll give you a command line tool for whatever platform it is that you're on. So download the build apps, the SDK here, and there's flavors you can download. I'm not going to download it because I already have a copy. That you can download for Windows, Mac, or Linux. Where is it? There's another... There we go. Not that one. Where is it? Go back one. There we go. You could choose your favorite download for the runtime. The SDK is over here. That'll help get you installed, up and running. And then you can just open up the command prompt. .NET New is all it takes to start a website. There's all kinds of templates in here. You're going to be looking for an ASP.NET website. There's a whole bunch of templates here. Depending on what you want to do, how you want to get started, take your pick, and you can get started. This one, ASP.NET Core Web App, has all kinds of samples already built into it that'll get you started and pointed in the right direction, Storm Shouts. So check that out. It'll get you pointed in the right direction. And of course, from back over here on that download link, make sure you go check out Learn up here. You can click through to web, and there's tutorial. There's a tutorial here, along with videos and all kinds of instructions to get you started in the right direction. So there you go. Really good stuff. Make sure you check that out. Thank you for the follow. Akram Halil, welcome. It's good to see you. Thanks for tuning in and helping us reach our new follower goal down here. It's not that new. Reaching our 10,000 follower goal. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
I'm Scott. I'm new here.
Thank you for the sub, Storm Shouts. Bringing that Twitch Prime. Very nice. Thank you very much. And of course, that's another donation we'll make to code.org. All of our subscribers get 17 emotes. Get to turn off the ads here on the channel. And importantly, like you just saw there, you get to throw emotes at my face while I'm writing code. thanks so much for the support, Storm Shouts. If you have an Amazon Prime account, because maybe you got Amazon Video, you got it for the holidays so you could do free shipping, link it to your Twitch account, and you're going to get one subscription you can use on any channel on the platform. If you choose to bring it here, I'll use it to make a donation to code.org and give you all those goodies that folks like Storm Shouts just got. Free. You don't have to spend another $1. Amazon will pay for all that for you. So there's a little bit about how to get started, where you can find the stuff to get started for ASP.NET Core. And I cover that, of course, in the workshop that we did. And you can find that recording, 8 hours of training, live. It was live here on Twitch. It's over on YouTube, and I'm trying to schedule another round of that. I thought I would be able to make it for Monday. I'm not going to make it for Monday. I've got too much ahead of me that I need to get done. So we're going to get that on the schedule at some point here and have a good time with another 8-hour workshop talking about ASP.NET Core 3.1. Robert Tables, what the heck?
Robert Tables just resubscribed for 14 months. 14 months. What the Robert 68 HECC.
Good morning, my friend. Good to see you, Robert Tables. Robert's another member of the Live Coders team. Thank you so much for that. We're going to make a donation to code.org. Is that Wanadza? I'm nearly positive I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Is it Wanadza? Welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in from Malaysia. Good evening. My goodness. Must be very late there. Musical Bookworm, good morning. Jean Valjean is here. Hello, hello. And Hugo's going to lurk for a little bit. So before I get any further, right, I'm not even going to play the music in the background. I'm going to turn off alerts for just a second because I've got to do something a little bit serious here for a minute. So if you don't mind, I'm going to turn off the alerts briefly. I need to go down to here and turn off the alerts. So what I'd like to talk about is, of course, I say that I make these donations on our behalf every quarter to different organizations. And we've been going through Tiltify and making donations to benefit St. Jude Play Live for the fourth quarter 2019. All of our subscriptions, all of our cheers go to St. Jude Play Live for that fourth quarter of 2019. Certainly, I'm not raising millions of dollars here, tens of thousands of dollars. I wanted to raise about $3,000. And you can see just the little amount of change, the big amount of change that a little amount of dollars can make for folks at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. 2/3 of the cost of 1 day of chemotherapy for $1,000. $2,500 provides 16 days of oxygen. Tremendous what the folks at St. Jude do. They're not just helping kids that have these terrible diseases, cancer and whatnot. They're beating it. They're finding the cures. They're making that research available for everyone anywhere to benefit. This isn't just helping one organization. This is helping sick kids everywhere. And I'm going to make that donation right now. We've already raised more than $1,900 for October and November of 2019. And let's donate that last amount. We raised $975 in cheers and subs for that for December 2019, and I'm going to make that donation right now. Let's do this. This is the cheers and subscriptions to the C# Fritz channel from our community. Thank you for all the work you do to help children. Tremendous what they've been able to do for children, for folks everywhere. Now I need to turn this off for just a second. Pardon me while I take down possibly showing my credit card here on stream. Excuse me for a minute while I key that in. This is an organization that, yes, and we're going to make that donation, and then we will get back into writing some code together. Give me 1 second here, friends. Yes, this is the right card. Okay. Got to make sure I'm donating from the right card. Otherwise, Mrs. C Sharp Fritz will be kind of cross at me. And got to key in that number. And there's another number over here on the back. It's this one. And one of these. Key that in. Click the button. And where we go? There it is. Donation complete. We raised more than $2,800 as a community here, live on Twitch, for sick kids. Yes, pause that. I don't need to see me. This is tremendous. I love being able to support these organizations again and again every quarter. And of course, I'm going to submit a matching request over to my employer so that that $975. Oh my! Yes, raised by us will be matched and doubled. It's just tremendous that I have that opportunity, and I'm happy to extend that and be able to take what's almost $3,000 here and turn that into almost $6,000 total donated to St. Jude Play Live. Thank you so much to everybody in our community that subscribed, that cheered all through the fourth quarter, and this is how I want to pay it forward and help folks that need help out there. Whether they're sick, they need to learn, they need to grow and change their career. These are the things that I love having the opportunity to do with your help, of course, community, chat room, our pair programmers. It means a lot. Thank you. So, moving on. Now that we're through that, let me get some music playing in the background here. Today, let's play. I've got my Xbox hat on today, so let me play. Where's green? Let's play some green. There it goes. This is Music to Code By from our friend Mr. Carl Franklin. Scientifically designed, engineered to get you in the flow, get you in the groove, so that whatever task it is you're working on, you can get focused and get stuff done. Check it out, mtcb.pwop.com, or you can execute the music command in the channel, in the chat room, and get a link to get your copy today. Make sure you check out our friend Carl is doing a Blazor Roadshow all through 2020. Check it out at BlazorRoadshow.com. All right. Let's see. Let me look back at the chat room here. DJ Vortex has a question, a basic Blazor question. Are parameters cascading by default if present on the URL? No. Nope. You hear a car? What? No. No. You don't hear that at all. The top level component is the only component that'll get that parameter. We can show that a little bit. All right. And we have a question from, is that Zulols 0608? What is dependency injection? Let me pin that question. We can talk about that. So this is the project that we've been working on over here, BlazorWebFormsComponents. And we're going to go through and continue in here building our TreeView. Let me set the project command here for us so that folks can find this. I want to talk about something for the live coders, and then I'll come back to that question about dependency injection. So let me set the project command. Building a TreeView Blazor component to emulate the ASP.NET WebForms TreeView control. Source at, and we'll share the source code here, source code link. There we go. About a month ago, our friend Scott Hanselman, you know Scott Hanselman, the Scott Hanselman, he joined the live coders for a discussion, and I offer these discussions. There's our donation to St. Jude, processed, $975 pushed through. Thank you so much. 100% on the sentiment meter. Thank you so much, chat room. Appreciate all that support. So our friend Scott joined the Live Coders. I like to host these. I think the Live Coders all enjoy this. On our Discord, a private discussion with folks that are influencers out there in the greater tech community to help us learn how to be better streamers, how to manage our communities, how to plan and handle things better. And Scott was the first of our guests. He joined us for a discussion, and he published the recording. He asked if he could publish the recording. Absolutely. And he published the recording of our interview as a podcast here. Here's a link to it. Robert Tables. We had a really good time talking to Scott, and these discussions kind of they start rolling once you start breaking folks out of their shell and they hear a topic like, oh my gosh, that's something that means a lot to me, and it particularly hit me with Lily Hazel and Callow Creations. You hear them ask some questions of Scott. Robert Tables, this guy doesn't back away from a discussion. He jumps right in with the first question, talking to Scott. So make sure you check it out. There's a link to the podcast in the chat room. Go ahead and grab a download and listen. As some of your favorite live coders talk to Scott about what it means to build a community, to be productive, and how we can be better streamers to help our communities as well. Somebody has to get the ball rolling, and none other than Robert Tables. There's a comment there from Kabazi. You're right. We need to make dev the default branch. I'm going to mark that as well. Let me come back to that. So I am thinking about inviting some other folks to talk to the live coders. Is she here? I don't see her. Because it's going to be. I don't want to pop the invite on her, but I was thinking about inviting our friend Dee Dee Walsh to talk to the live coders, because she has been around and knows a ton about the industry, and I think she would be tremendous to talk to the team and bring a yes, the donut lady's father. Yes. In fact, I might even just have her on the stream here. But definitely, I think she would be tremendous, because her contributions to our industry have been huge, and folks don't even know it yet. So I think it's definitely folks like that. There's some other folks that are in the queue that we want to invite and not just talk to the team, but I think talk over here will be really great. And I still owe some folks some visits in. The Bits for Bytes promotion I've slacked on. I think I'm discontinuing it here for 2020, just because it's been so hard to keep up with. So let me move on. Let's get into the project. Let me get to the questions that we have here. Before I get into this, I want to make sure I get to the question that I had from and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Is it Julols 0608? And I want to make sure that I speak a little bit slower so that closed captioning keeps up, and it appears I'm guessing that English isn't your first language, so I want to make sure that I speak a little bit slower, so to help with the communication here. So the question is, what is dependency injection? And dependency injection is a architectural thing that's become more and more prevalent in .NET code, and you're seeing it become a feature in more JavaScript frameworks. And what dependency injection is a way to kind of take advantage, not kind of, but to take advantage of object-oriented programming techniques to pass in dependencies from one object to the next, so that you can have all of your dependencies, all of those things that one object depends on, made available at the time that they're constructed, and typically passed in through a constructor. Let me show you write a little bit of sample code here and just talk about dependency injection real quick, and we'll get back into our code. Let's see. Let me open a console. There we go. So let's do a .NET new console application, right? Console. And let's call this DI console, right? For dependency injection console. So I'm just going to create a new application here that we can peek into, and hopefully I'll be able to edit this section out as a video that we can broadcast on. You know what? Hang on. That's not the right command. It's .NET new console. There we go. We'll be able to edit this out as a YouTube video. A little bit easier for folks to be able to find. All right. So let me go into that folder. And you see I just have a program CS here. Let me open this up in Visual Studio Code, because I don't want to get things too complex. I want to make this as simple as possible for folks to see what's happening here. So, there we go. Make it a little bit larger. So, right, typical hello world type of program here. And I can run this from the command line, .NET run, and it's going to come back and say hello world. Right? Let's go. There it is. Hello world. Not now. All right. Now, this is a static class. It's not actually doing much. If we add another class, right? Public class greeter, right? And this has a method, public void, do the thing, right? And if this does console right line, right, let's call this say hello, right? Just to make this as simple as possible. And we make this hello world, right? Well, if I wanted to have greeter say hello and move this logic over there, I would say, right, new greeter say hello, and it's going to do the same thing, right? I've just moved my logic somewhere else. There it is, hello world. I should actually say hello world from greeter, right? And it's going to come back and say hello world from greeter. But if I want to pass in a dependency, right? Perhaps I want to pass in somebody's name, right? I can change that and do a little string interpolation here and actually say hello to somebody's name there, right? And I can do that. And now it'll say how to do that. I didn't save the file, did I? Strongly coupled component. Oh, see, now we're getting, now, what do you see? Right, so I'm passing in, right, a dependency for this. Well, what if I actually got, right, I had some other thing that I needed that I depended on here that I'm going to pass in from somewhere else? Like, the console is kind of a static thing here. Right, but the console, right, I'm not going to be able to do this the same way that I want to. Let's do this. What if we had, right, someplace else to get names and we want to pass that in, right? So if we have down here, let's call this our name processor, right? And this could be something that fetches names off of disk or something, right? Some sort of repository. Hey, Tim Blazor, good to see you. Little Bobby Tables, that's who we're referring to. Oh, that's a good one. Hang on. Let me change this. Maybe instead of the name processor, I like the sample somebody suggested there. Instead of saying hello, whatever, we say good time of day, whoever, from greeter. Well, where do we get time of day from? Well, maybe time of day is provided by some sort of a time processor, right? So time processor. And this has a method on it that returns a string that is the time of day, right? So we can do something in here that says if, let's make this simple. If date time dot now dot hour, yeah. If that is less than 6, or date time dot now dot hour is greater than 18, right? Return evening. Else if date time now hour is greater than 6 and is less than, let's say, noon, right? Return morning. Otherwise, it's the afternoon. So I've pushed this processing of, well, what time of day is it over here? So I would pass into here, right? Something that says, right, I want to get that time of day into my greeter. So I need my time processor to be available to my greeter. Well, okay, so let's create a constructor here. And here comes the dependency injection. I'm going to receive a time processor. And I want to store that somewhere, right? Time processor equals one of these. And you can quickly see where we're getting a private variable here, and now I can say not time of day, but time processor time of day, and it will do the same thing for me now. I didn't save, did I? I didn't save. Yeah. Do that again. What? Oh, I'm not passing it in. I need to pass that in now, right? I need to actually inject. So here, I need to pass in a new time processor. Now, good morning, Robert Tables from Greeter, because my time is, well, here is morning. Well, I'm injecting this dependency here, and I've got a concrete implementation here. Pac-Man Jr., I gotta say thank you for that.
For 22 months, almost 2 years. Who would have thought?
Oh yes, thank you, my friend. 22 months, and we're gonna make another donation to code.org for that. Thank you very much. Pattern matching is definitely a thing that could be done here. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible and not get into anything too complex here. Okay? So I'm passing that time of day over here. Now we can start exploiting a little bit of what you can do with object-oriented programming. This is dependency injection at its core. Is I have a object here and I'm injecting what it depends on. It depends on a time processor. But JavaScript now, and C#, all the object-oriented languages have this concept of interfaces, right? And the typical way that you see folks in .NET do this is they'll put an I in front of what an interface is, and the interface is just a definition of a contract. Who's this?
Just gifted 5 subs.
Azure Sharp, thank you so much for those 5 gift subs. We're going to make 5 more donations to code.org, and these 5 folks are going to get the 17 emotes, turn off the ads on the Twitch channel, and be able to throw emotes at my face. DJ Bass 101, Caparino, Calamity Badger, Henky 109, and Brilliant 150. Congratulations, you all just got subscriptions thanks to our friend Azure Sharp. Thank you very much for those kind donations. Gift subs. Thank you. So you have these interfaces that define a contract. Well, a time processor has a time of day method, and I can now implement it here. And a gift sub for Simo.
Sharp gifted S1mo underscore a subscription. As your Sharp gifted a tier 1 sub to S1mo
Thank you.
underscore. They have given 16 gift subs in the channel.
Very cool. Thank you so much. Well, to finish the thought about interfaces, because I have this interface and it is implemented by this class, what you'll see folks do is they'll, instead of receiving a time processor here, they'll receive an time processor. What this does is it allows us to pass in then different implementations of this. So we can then provide different ways, and this does still work. We can provide now different ways to get that time to process. So maybe instead of going after datetime.now.something, maybe we can read that from an IoT device. Maybe we can fetch it from the atomic clock somewhere, right? Whatever your different implementation does, you can change how this works, how your dependency for your greeter works. And this doesn't care that it changed. It's still receiving and calling the same method. So that's, at its simplest, what dependency injection is. And there's some really great examples here coming in from folks in Twitch chat. I'm going to come back to that Twitch Loft in just a second. You make a very good point there. And let me quote that. Come back to that. But Azure Sharp makes a very good practical example here. The big one that you'll see is folks use database provider. You're going to fetch from a database. Well, maybe you're getting from SQL. So you're going to have an ISQL provider interface. And maybe you have different databases that you want to be able to connect to. So you have a Cosmos provider, a MySQL provider or something. I would be tempted, right, to change it from iDatabase provider to just iData provider. Because you may also be getting it from getting data over from a microservice and using HTTP to make that request, not necessarily SQL. So the implementation behind your interface, you want to be as generic. You want to be able to swap out, and you don't want coupled to the name of that. And that kind of feeds into what TwitchLoft is saying here. And that is, it is a horrible practice to have something here named something and to extract the interface and call it that something. Really, you want to name this something that's a little bit more generic with respect to what it's doing. So you're not actually thinking about it too much when you're writing your code. So there's a quick 10 minutes about what dependency injection is and how you can use it in your code. I'm going to save this and I will post this to a gist so that we can extract this video and have it available on YouTube for folks to learn and step through this a little bit. Thank you so much for the question. I really, really appreciate it. Oh yeah, right, you can also pass testing values into this as well. Yes. So, there you go. All right. Let me head back over here to the project. Database connections are one of the most common uses you've seen for this. Yep, musical bookworm, you're not wrong at all. That is a really good point. Oh, look at the baby. Very nice. Find when reviewing code that needs to be refactored to use dependency injection as well. Yeah. Yep. Dependency, database connections, not just database connection, just to abstract it even further to just data retrieval and interaction. Whether it's a database, it's a file system, it's an HTTP endpoint, whatever it might be. Working with a queue, pull all the way back to data, because it may not be a database at some point. And then your interface is going to look really funny if it's not. A follow-up question from is that Demonition? Nice. Is IInterface naming part of Hungarian notation or no? It's not Hungarian notation per se, but it is it's something that's kind of stuck for folks, particularly in the .NET community, to have the I in front of it so you know that it's an interface. So I guess that is a little bit of Hungarian notation concept, but if it was true Hungarian notation, it would be interface data provider or something, right? You'd see the full interface there. The I in front of it is kind of a convention that is stuck from there. So, yep, swapping that database out, that data source out for something that's in memory or an in-process collection is another great example that Robert Tables is suggesting here. So that when you are testing, it's very, very fast and you're not waiting for a file system or a database or a web service to respond. Very good thing. You're right, PCL. IInterface is the C# way. This is the way to do it. Yes, it is. Java people don't do it. We can't all be perfect. So we've been working on this project, and our friend Kabazi here makes a recommendation. We introduced a development branch here, so we had some place to merge all of our pull requests in, so that master is where we're releasing. And Kabazi makes a very good point. We should make the dev branch here the default. So I'm going to go into the settings for the repository here and make that dev branch the default. So over here, and the default branch is dev. There we go. Yes. Do it. There we go. All right. Oh, Julols. Not a problem that English isn't your first language. Very happy to help you out and answer your question here. And by letting me know that ahead of time, I hope I explained at a pace that was appropriate for you to learn and pick up a little there. Thank you so much for joining us, and I really appreciate you asking the question. No Flav Creations, no Java. No Java here. We'll save that for Jitter Ted a little bit later today. But gosh, Robert Tables, Flav Creations. I thought I saw a couple other live coders wander in. Thank you so much to the live coders in the channel today. No, not JavaScript. Java. I tell you. Wanaja, like the fact that I'm pointing out the I class name inherit by class name. It's supposed to be something like I abstract intention. Yes, it should be. Let me highlight that. You're absolutely right. Let me highlight that. There you go. Yep. I abstract intention is absolutely the way that you should take that interface naming approach. So, no chicken wing, no sparkly jacket today. We break that out for special occasions. That's funny. Oh, Twitchloft, that's a great example. Don't create mail client and I mail client. Mail client inherit from I send mail. It's something that it does, and we want to force, right? It specifically does the send mail operation. The fact that it may do it with POP, with SMTP, whatever, that's great. That's an implementation detail. I send mail is what it's doing. That's a great example, Twitchloft. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And Hugo makes a good point. Don't be afraid to break up that mail client into I send mail and I retrieve mail. Nothing says that you have a limited number of interfaces when you design your classes. That being said, though, some folks do get carried away with creating interfaces. It is possible to over abstract your interactions. So don't be afraid to create many of those. But when you are thinking about compiling and pushing things into smaller devices, thinking about IoT devices, mobile devices, tablets, where memory is a concern, processor is a concern, adding all of those extra interfaces could introduce extra processing cycles that you don't need to waste. That's a great way. That's another good one. From Zivlali? Zivlai. I hope I pronounced that correct. Let me know. I want to make sure I say your name correctly. Word. It's an iText editor. Microsoft Word is an iText editor. Certainly. A little bit more sophisticated, but it is a text editor. Yep. That would be a great talk. Hey, Huffling. Hey, good to see you, Andrew. Where'd it go? That would be a great talk. How not to get carried away in application design. Yeah. Does Word count as a text editor for channel points? No, Hugo. No. No. Don't do that to me. Of course, there are channel points available here. You can make my coding experience a little bit trickier if you'd like. You can make it, and you can ask me to change my hat. You can ask me to put on a voice modification here. You can open up live share. Look, here's all the things that we have here. Look at all these things. You can ask me to record a voiceover for you. Make me sound like hamsters or make it party time. Change my font in the text editor to Papyrus. I also have Comic Sans out here, but you can also have me change to your choice of fonts as well. Check it out. We can have some fun with that today if you're so inclined. But how's it going, chat room? My name is, and we're gonna get into our code now. Wingdings doesn't work, Flav. Sorry, we tried figuring that out. No, WordPerfect is not a text editor either. I don't know where I'd get WordPerfect. A hex editor? No. Lotus Notes? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow, Hugo. I gotta put that up on featured chat. That is so kind of you. Stop, it's running away! Oh my goodness. Yes, you can change my editor to light theme if you'd like. There we go. Thank you, Hugo, with the very kind words. I appreciate that very much. I hope it's not too much of a thing for me to say that when I get to spend time with you folks, writing code, talking, having a good time, laughing, telling jokes, and being productive here, it gives me back spoons. It's something that I really enjoy, and it makes my day the 2-3 hours that we spend together. Thank you so much. Writing code in front page Azure Sharp? Now that's just mean. That's just wrong. Edit, the old MS-DOS text editor, musical bookworm. Maybe not edit, but VI is on the table. VI is absolutely on the table. Let's take a look. There's a pull request that was opened here for the login control by our friend Kabazi there in the chat room. We have a bunch of issues here, and I want to make sure that you know anybody's welcome to come check out the project. This is the BlazorWebFormsComponents project. We're working over here to build components for Blazor. That's a user interface framework that folks can use to build web applications, and we've seen there's other bindings to build things like mobile applications as well. But we're targeting web applications and making ASP.NET Web Forms components controls available as components. And I got to make sure I use those terms correctly, because in web forms they're controls, but when we get over into Blazor, they're components. So slight difference in nomenclature there, and I want to make sure that I use those properly when referencing the two technologies. Oh my gosh, Flav, I gotta highlight that. The GitHub text editor, we might be able to do that. That's a little bit crazy. Thank you. Listening's enough to soothe and help me do better with my activities. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's great to see you. Welcome back in. Thank you for the kind words. And don't think I only put up nice things people say here. I do occasionally put up when somebody complains about something, but all the messages that we put up there on the featured chat will be clean. I don't want to put anything dirty up there, because I do want to make sure we're family friendly, we're inclusive and welcoming to other folks that might be tuning in, whatever their culture might be, whatever their standards are. So our friend Kabazi's been knocking on the door here, hitting a bunch of features. He went through and implemented a bunch of validators. We have a couple more validators to build, but added the the login control here. Started working on this. We can assign that right to Kabazi here. And has a pull request with an initial implementation over here. So we're going to take a look at that. There's also a comment here about rendering the ID, and we talked about output compatibility mode. This really goes to one of the tenets of this project, where we want to make sure that we match the output HTML as close as possible, and perhaps at some point give the ability to say turn on higher rendering, more modern rendering that uses CSS classes and better HTML elements to deliver the components. So that's something we want to be able to address in the future. I'm going to label this output compatibility mode. I'm going to label this as an enhancement, and kind of park this for now. At some point, we'll move this into a project that's a little bit further out. There's a couple of things that are long distance types of considerations that we'll come back to in the future. When I look forward, part of my face is transparent. What? What? I can't tell. How can I do this? Right, the green is over here, it's over there. Am I in the top right corner? No! Top right corner up here. That over there a little bit. That might help. How's that? Green highlight. Let me just move this over here so I can look. Oh yeah, look at that. It's this side. That's better. There we go. And I'll move OBS back over there. That's better. No, it's the light. I moved the light over there. Yeah, I was getting the green light on my face. Voiceover redemption. Oh, folks want to redeem for those voiceovers. You know what? I wanted to add... No, I'll add a different reward. I wanted to add a reward for no internet research for a half an hour. So that I can still use GitHub to work on things, but I can't go to docsmicrosoft.com or anywhere. All the internet research turned off. What do you think, chat room? Is that a good penalty? No spoilers? No, actually, Hugo, that doesn't include no spoilers from the chat room. It means I have to depend more on the chat room. That's what it means. No auto-completion. Oh, that's just rude. Am I allowed to use books? No. I don't use books anyway. Be more like doing a whiteboard interview. CJ Aliaga, that's a good point. No auto-completion from DJ Vortex. Ooh, that's a good one. But that's really, I could get into the text editor at that point and you get the same thing. And we'll think about it. The other issue that Kabazi opened here was about rendering ID. There's an ID that gets rendered for components and in web forms and added. This is something that we're going to need to investigate and research a little bit here. So we need to do a little bit of research on this. Need some research on how applicable this might be as we push more features into more client-side features into C# Blazor. We're going to need to figure this out. Because this is something that we're going to need to apply to pretty much everything. So, type with on-screen keyboard. No, that's just wrong. Use Vim is absolutely out there. Absolutely. That is, in fact, you know what? I'm going to not just... let's do this right now. I can do this. Can I do this on stream? manage rewards. Here, this is the list of rewards that are available. Rewards. More like penalties. So I have down here... Yeah, I can become Thanos for 5 minutes. Text editor for 5 minutes. Let's edit this. Right, so right now it's text editor for 5 minutes. There. Visual Studio makes this too easy for Fritz. Use Notepad or Vim for the next 5 minutes. Let's make this specific. Use Notepad, and I'm going to copy this. Right? To make it clear that... and I already have that somewhere. Right? I wish I could copy this. You know? Add new custom reward. What was the name of it up there? So Notepad for 15 minutes, and this will be Vim for 15 minutes. Paste in the description. Use Vim for the next 15 minutes and show us what a real coder you are. Cost 15K, and I need to put an icon in here. What was the color? Limit redemption per stream. Yes, we can only do that twice. I need to get the color. And I also need to get the, because I want that same red. You know, I like the red. B7. Right. Cancel. See, now here's the funny thing. If we show this to our friend NoOpCat, Suze Hinton, she's going to laugh and say, what an amateur I am, because she uses Vim all the time. You know? Oh, wouldn't it be great if I had the VI logo for that? Can somebody grab me the VI logo, the Vim logo, and we'll upload it here for this. But that's activated. We'll finish configuring that another time. But there you go. You can force me into Vim if you'd like. No, not landscape. No. Oh, dear Lord. No mouse is not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea, too. Can I install OmniSharp for Vim? Yeah, I can do that. Hugo has... Oh, yeah. There we go. There's the VI logo. I'm going to minimize and just keep that off to the side, and we'll get that loaded as an icon later. Thank you. Thank you very much for grabbing that, Hugo. All right. So we've got a bunch of things going on here. I want to take a look at the pull request that we got from Kabazi for the login control. 61 files changed. Oh my goodness, what happened? Added events, more styles, extract style from table item style, login name, login status. Oh my goodness. 61 files. That's a lot of files. Oh, this is not going to be a quick change because you added authorization over here. Added the component list for login and login status. Okay. Login name sample. So, you included all the samples for these too. Oh, nice. Very nice. Login controls, login status not authenticated. Login status, login page URL. Okay. And it's just block of text there. Imports Razor to include... Yep, we need a button type at some point here. All right. Static auth state provider. Alternating item style inherits table item style. Oh, okay. So hang on. You introduced UI table item style here. Now, why did you move these and remove that? Thank you for the follow, Big Daddy McCoy. Welcome. Appreciate you joining us. Base web. Oh, you moved them up into base web forms component from base model binding component. Very good. Okay, I'm good with that. And you've added ASP.NET Core Components authorization to the WebForms components. That could be an issue when we think about using these client side. Not sure yet. Thank you for the follow. Is it Artigan? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you joining us. And we're just reviewing pull request here for a login component for Blazor. So in data list Razor, you removed horizontal and vertical align. Are those not a thing? There's our button type. Okay, button type, image button type, and these are things in web forms. Logout action. Oh, okay, so this is another enumeration. The different logout actions that you could be doing. Okay. Redirect to login page not supported in Blazor. That may be something that we can figure out in the future. Okay, so this is okay. That's fine. Instead of creating a new instance of these each time, by creating it with a get, it's already initialized and made available. So that simplifies a little bit. Good. We don't end up with many different instances of these running around. It's just one instance that's passed around. Good. Hey, Sean. Thank you for tuning in. Validation summary display mode and the same update here. A request for future. Separate these up into separate pull requests, because there's a lot of refactoring that's happening in here that's separate from the actual component. I mean, I like all the changes that you've made here, but it would have been a little bit easier to consume if they were separated. So, copy to. Okay, so we have that left-right handling there. To style string, so that these pop out. Oh! And you put together the wrap feature here as well, it looks like. Set fonts from attributes. Oh, you move the... Big deal. Okay, more table item style. Oh my goodness. Checkbox style. So these are the various styles that you have inside of that login component. Okay. This is very thorough here. I love all the stuff that you've added. Oh my goodness. Instruction text style. Yeah. Label styles. These are a whole bunch of things that we're going to need. Now look at this, right? Here's the actual login control. So we need to pass all of those styles into the child content. Yeah. It's kind of ugly to see that passing the cascading styles, but that arrow notation, it's the way we got to work right now. Until we can pass one cascading values parameter and pass here's all the things that are passing back and forth. Which even then begs, do we have some sort of a facade object in our design here that is one top level style object that wraps all of the ones that get passed in here? So then we only have one cascading value facade that we pass. Maybe. And then here's the format. No, table layout. Love it. Love it. Okay. I'm assuming there are some tests here, right? Login Razor. Nice. Putting the little sirens there so that you can see, oh, you need to do this. Instead of specifying a membership provider. Not implemented. Nice. All right. I'm fine with that. Look at all these properties. Oh, boy. Yeah. All right. Injecting items that we're going to need. Okay. There's a lot here to do for this. Oh, man. This would have taken me a long time to do on stream. Thank you so much. Different event arguments. There's our login name control. Just a span with the display name. coming off of that calculated style. Nice. Nice. Oh my goodness, so much good work here. Login status. There's the code behind for it. Yep. Styles to go with it. Text box style. Okay. Yep. Title text style. Title text style. Validator text style. Oh yeah. Updated separator style, so it's slightly different. Okay. UI table item style. I'm alright with that. Really, really good stuff here. So table item style simplified a little bit because it inherits from style, which is the has style that has some of these other things in it. So I see how you're simplifying. Good. Yeah. I'm really liking what you've done here. So validation summary, don't need those properties now. Nice. My only concern is unit tests. But we're merging into that dev branch, and this is a huge, huge collection here. And it does compile and run properly. So what do you think? Yeah, huge efforts and work, Kabazi. Very, very nice what you've done here. Thank you so much for putting all of this together. Chat room, do you think I should merge it into dev, or and we can go through and add the tests later? We can do some integration review now. I think we're okay to merge this. Yeah. Merge it. The test later, I agree, is a little bit of a concern. So I'm going to I think we can leave all of these bullets here. Squash and merge that into dev. There we go. Thank you very much, Kabazi. That was really great contribution there. And that also closed out the issue that you had opened saying, hey, I'm going to work on the login component. Great stuff. Really great stuff. But the tests are absolutely something that we need to do, right? This is something important that we want to make sure we continue to drive and deliver. There we go. Continue to deliver with this so that we also need some documentation as well, because that'll make it much more acceptable to enterprises, to organizations that need to do the update. So this is going to do that migration, and I'm tempted to make this a preview 2 version and push this into master so that folks can start taking a look at it. Blazor Mr. Magoo is here. Hello. Yeah, that's a very good idea. Hugo, can you, or yeah, can someone open an issue here? Tests for the login component, and we'll get that into the mix. I'm going to mark this as preview 2 and publish it so that we can get that component out there on NuGet so folks can start taking a look at it. So I'm going to run back over. I thought I had it. Hey, close that. I don't need that. I'd love to be able to close that, but it won't go away for me. Let me jump over here. BlazorWebFormsComponents. Let me jump over to that dev branch. Pull in all of those changes. Yeah. Git pull origin dev. Is it -u and it'll start tracking? Nope. There we go. That's better. Take a look at that version file. There it is, preview 1. Thank you for the follow. Is that Rain Descartes? Welcome. It's good to see you, and I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. Thank you so much for tuning in. So let's Nerdbank Git versioning. I'm not really going to set a release, but I'm going to... I always get confused about how I do this. I'm going to set the next version, send the pull request, and we'll tag it then. So Nerdbank Git version, set version, and this is going to be 040 preview 2. Okay. Git push origin dev. Now will that track? Oh, I didn't commit. Let me reset my YubiKey there. Set version to 040 preview 2. And I'll be prompted for my pin. There we go. Push that up. I should have known that I couldn't push and that I had this indicator. Because, right, this says I'm equal, and this says that I have one modification to push. This part of the prompt says you have one modification waiting to be pushed to dev. Thank you, Hugo. Oh, wow, Kabazi, you're going to implement the rest of the login controls? Thank you so much. That is very kind. And we do need some help with documentation around it, so we can get a little bit of information for folks that want to implement those and do a migration. Thank you so much, Kabazi. You've been a tremendous help with this project. Rain, oh, thank you for the kind words about my voice. I try to make sure that that I'm understandable and clear for folks. Yeah. How does versioning work? So I'm using a tool here called Nerdbank Git versioning. NBGV. Right? No. There it is. This is a tool that will help version your, not just .NET, it'll work for other tools as well, other frameworks. But you can use this to tag and manage a set of version information that'll be pushed into your projects. And it knows how to do all kinds of versioning structures and things, and it'll also help manage Git for you. And consequently, then when you build, you'll end up with a nice version number pop out on that side as well. So I'm going to go back over here to... That's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to create a pull request to push this into production, what's currently in dev, and we're going to merge that into master. I need a master of puppets clip. So implement the login controls and set the version. That's what we're going to do. We're going to publish that. So let's create this, and we're going to say added login control 040 preview 2. Create that pull request. Now, yep, it doesn't need to build because this built successfully. There's nothing additional here to be done. So I could squash and merge. I don't want to squash and merge. Let's just add it directly in, right? That's funny that it thinks it needs to build here. Why do you think you need to build? It should have just passed right through. Because see, all right, it's, what are you doing? Yeah, look at that, right? I thought that ran through properly already. It should have passed right through it. So does NBGV automatically manage Semver? It's very much still on us. So it's something that you need to control. What?
There can be only one.
It's Fierce Kittens. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you. Hello. So this is going to run the test. The test should all still work. No significant changes there. And I want to see this go away so that I can just merge those two files in. Come on. Thank you for the shout out. Fierce Kittens is another member of the Live Coders team. How's it going there, my friend? Here we go. Finalizing, done. There it is. So this is the first of the preview 2s. This should update here and show me that it's, there you go, ready to merge. I will merge this directly. Updating, no, releasing the login component in preview. All right. Oh, I did that. This way, merge, merge. Now when that goes through, right, this will cut one more build, but that build will go to release. It'll actually get published out to, there it is right here. This will actually go out to NuGet, and folks will be able to download. Sentiment meter looking sad? You are not an honorary member there, Fierce Kittens. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you kidding? Friends, if you haven't seen Fierce Kittens Getting Started series for developers on Twitch, you have not seen somebody who really knows how to speak to brand new developers and get them started and walking in the right direction with their developer journey. Tremendous series of videos from our friend Fierce Kittens there. And I can tell you that she's getting ready for the next one of these Twitch streams. Get ready, because we're all waiting in
Anticipation.
Indeed. Much anticipation. So, haven't had time to make a lesson plan? Well, that's a thing. Don't worry about it. Don't you hate when your day job gets in the way of streaming? Well, that's definitely a thing. Look at the tacos. Everybody loves the tacos. Okay, Kabazi's taking off. Thank you so much for helping out today, friend. Really great stuff from you. All right, so that built, and it's actually going to publish this, right? 58 tests. This will be published out. Come on. Right there. Not published, not published. This one is publishing right now here. It's marked release 15. Here it goes. And that'll be over on NuGet.org. Folks will be able to download and try this in their own projects today. Now. Tacos do cheer up the bot. They do. Everybody loves tacos. See, it's easy to make a sentiment bot happy. Just feed it tacos. And we're all good. So, come on. What are you doing? There, succeeded. There we go. Pushed to NuGet. Everything succeeded. So now, if I go back to the build, this is kind of neat. I like being able to see this. So here's the build, right? And there was a release thing that was appearing here. There it is. There's the release. No, I don't want to create a release. I thought there was a thing here that showed that it was released. I don't see it. Maybe I was all right, whatever. So that's published. Now we have the login control available. Yep, there we go. Thank you, Hugo. Add the unit tests. I'm going to mark this as help wanted, and I'm going to mark this as a bug because it's something that needs to be done. I don't want to mark a 040 final release until we have unit tests for this. So, but we're working on the TreeView control today. So I'm going to head back over to the branch that I was working on. So I'll check out and jump back to this one. And I'm going to merge in that dev branch. There we go. So now my TreeView branch here has all the features that were just pushed out. Chicken Wing has a question there. Let me come back to Chicken Wing's question. Where'd it go? I'll come back to that in just a second here while I'm getting Visual Studio up and running. There we go. Chicken Wing's question is don't recover. What was my first computer? My first computer was a Commodore 64. I was one of those kids. My father got a Commodore 64, and it was in the home office, downstairs in the basement, and I learned BASIC on it. It's an interesting turn of full circle that my father at the time was a Unix administrator, and he spent a lot of time on systems that didn't have access to BASIC. I even have a blog post up about this, but things have kind of come full circle here for me, where I was 6-7 years old and I learned BASIC on a Commodore 64. My father learned it and taught me, and here we are now 35 years later, and I got to announce Visual Basic running on Linux by way of .NET Core. And now I'm helping teach other folks how to use BASIC, Visual Basic, the current version of BASIC, on other platforms. It's something that means a lot to me, and the impact that we as parents can have on our kids growing and setting them forth on the right path is cannot be underestimated. If your kids are interested in something, encourage them. Learning is a gift that you cannot spoil your children with. My keyboard information? Sure. Chex Mix. There is a command for that. There you go. There's information about my keyboard. Legendary machine, the Commodore 64. Yes, indeed. First PC was an IBM PC-AT. Nice. Apple IIc, the first portable Apple computer. Yeah, very portable. All right, let me roll back over here, and let's take a look. We started down the path here of what does the TreeView component look like for web forms, and then how can we... Oh, I said it.
And then?
How can we start implementing it? But when we started looking at TreeView, there's static nodes that you can create here.
And then?
They get rendered with a little bit of, well, some images,
And then?
some JavaScript.
And then?
You click on those images,
And then?
the JavaScript fires in and it expands and collapses the tree nodes.
And then?
Everybody's happy. So we took a look at that JavaScript yesterday and we said, you know what? We don't need no stinking JavaScript.
And then?
We're going to replace that JavaScript. We're going to make it C# code. Know what I'm saying there, chat room? Your dad was a Microsoft repair guy working at IBM. Nice. Or a Microsoft engineer. Yeah. All right. Let me make sure all these tests run. It says 18 of them didn't run here. I'm just going to kick this off and make sure everything runs before I get too far into this. Yesterday when we left off, so we wrote a sample into our before web forms project. So we have some markup here that we know we want to emulate. And we have our components down here where we will work on our tree view. So I copied out the images for what a collapsed node and an expanded node looks like here, the plus and the minus, so we can place those images appropriately inside of our user interface. There we go. 58 of 58 passed. Love seeing that. Love seeing that all of our tests run successfully.
You keep using that word.
Yes, I do.
I do not think it means what you think it means.
Tests are a wonderful thing that ensure that we didn't break anything. JavaScript is not Java Lite. Java is to JavaScript as ham is to hamster. Think about that. Get back to me. And those of you that don't speak English first, I hope you get the joke. No, not tasty. What is that? No, hamsters are not tasty. Odin Asan, hello, good to see you. No, chicken wing, I'm going to disagree with you on that. Joke received, thank you. Oh, hamsters think ham is tasty. Let me address this here real quick before I dig too far into the code. Where'd it go? Put that back up. I'm going to completely disagree with this statement. And I want to make sure that we aren't, while I poke fun at JavaScript, on this channel, we're equal opportunity offenders with all programming languages. We respect folks' decisions to choose one language over another. I don't think that JavaScript is a blemish. I think JavaScript did an amazing thing to enable the active web, to give us the ability to click into and interact with web pages, and do some interesting things with making all of the web an interactive place, more so than just click and navigate to another page. All the things that we can do with interaction are due to JavaScript. So I think it's a tremendous thing, and I think we're seeing JavaScript fatigue hit now. And you're going to see in 2020 more and more of the native compiled languages take hold with WebAssembly and become more visible as web applications inside of your browsers. So, Fierce Kitten says, except you. I can't tell you what to do or what not to do. You can go over to Fierce Kitten stream and you can talk about how wonderful JavaScript is, and she'll certainly you'll certainly get some feedback. Robert Tables makes a extremely good point here, and this is exactly what I'm saying. The entire Twitch experience, or if you're watching on YouTube, that experience is thanks to JavaScript. It was made in 10 days. Yeah. So there's a lot to be said. There's some really great things there that JavaScript has helped us with. But there's also some things that as a language, as an ecosystem, JavaScript needs help with. And folks are doing their best to advance the ecosystem, advance the technology. And I got to applaud them for that. That's a very ambitious thing to be able to do. So let's take a look. We're going to get back into our tree nodes, our tree elements here. We want to be able to emulate and have a TreeView do this. Have nodes, and this is where we're going to get into this concept of recursion with our components. Copper Beardy! Thank you so much, Copper Beardy, for the resub. 13 months. Get that rainbow propeller hat. I really appreciate that. And we're going to make another donation to code.org. You saw me make a donation earlier in the stream over to our friends at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. More than $2,800 we donated as a community. My employer is matching that, and I am so thrilled to be able to pay that forward to charitable organizations like St. Jude, like code.org. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support. Even when I can't speak right, we're still doing good things.
Let me add some value.
Renegade VI, right? I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you so much. 100 bits. Very cool. We'll make a donation. Yeah, St. Jude is amazing. And I think we're going to set up for May, for the Play Live month. I think we're going to try and do some interesting things to raise some money here on stream for St. Jude. Write some code together, have some fun, and give you the ability to add to the hijinks during that month. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to build a TreeView control that has a nodes element inside of it that itself has nodes, that they themselves have nodes? So we've got this recursive thing happening that's going to be a little crazy. So We're going to have some fun trying to figure this one out. This is not easy. So the concept of recursion in programming is something that you see again and again and again, and it's something calling itself so that it renders, it does something, and it repeats the same task again and again. So you have this I'm calling myself thing that happens, and there needs to be some sort of a check in that recursion loop so that it knows when to stop calling itself. Otherwise, you run into what we call an infinite loop, and applications will stop after a certain amount of running because they run out of processor, right? They'll either crash on their own, or the runtime will detect that it's running out of control and stop it with an error. Anyone stream F# checks mix? Absolutely. You should check out Gareth Hubble on the Live Coders team. Is doing F# on his stream. Be sure to check out his channel. Hey, Singing Mexican, hello. All right. So we need a TreeView component, and then I think we need tree node components that they themselves can have tree node components. This is gonna be weird.
Wow.
Yeah, ooh.
This is only a test. If this were a real Fritz emergency, you'd be hearing about freaking out and panic.
Well, not quite freaking out in panic, but
Wait. Let me explain something to you.
I think we're going to need to create the outer TreeView component, which I don't think actually does much. The nodes component. Tagaron!
Tagaron1 just resubscribed for 22 months.
22 months! Oh my goodness, we're closing in on 2 years here for some of you folks. That is tremendous. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate that. Surly Dev, that question is something that I love. An easy way to get data from an Excel spreadsheet into a JSON file. So what I've done, you could probably do this with PowerShell easy. There is a CSV to link NuGet package that you can use so that you save that Excel file as CSV, comma separated value, and you can then query it just like you would link, and you'll get an object back. Pass that into your JSON serializer and you're golden. Check that out. All right. Hype train is activated? No. Is it? Oh my gosh, the hype train is active. Look out, friends. Oh my goodness. You have a limited time to earn some exclusive emotes. I participated in a couple hype trains yesterday. For about the next 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Yes, sub gifts, bits will extend the train. Thank you so much, all of our friends. If you cheer 300 bits or more, you gift a sub, you will participate and get some emotes out of this. Svava! With the 100 bits. Thank you so much. Here comes the train. 75% complete on level 1. Oh my gosh. I love seeing the hype train. Azure Data Factory. Really? That'll do it? I didn't know that.
Let me add some value.
Marcus with 200 bits. Thank you very much. 85% complete level 1 on the hype train. When the hype train hits here, I've seen this happen with other folks. It's out of control. You go into just coding, just chatting mode practically for a little bit here. And if somebody wants to redeem some bits, I'll even go into some Fritz bits. We'll drop into a voice mod for a little bit. Hugo with 50. Thank you so much for the kind cheer. All of these, we're going to make donations to code.org. 100%. We just hit level 2 of the hype train. Singing Mexican.
Gifted Surly Dev a subscription.
Thank you so much for the gift sub to Surly Dev.
This is their first gift sub in the channel.
Thank you so much for bringing your first gift sub. Absolutely. Surly Dev, you're going to get all the emotes. I've got more emotes coming. Can I show you what I've got coming here? And maybe I can get your help, chat room. I think, you know what? While we're kind of paused here, we're writing so much code today. I know. Uh-oh. Party time for... Okay. All right. And we got another cheer from Azure Sharp. Thank you. It's out of control here. I will switch to party time. I should do this off screen. Wow. Azure Sharp
just gifted 5 subs.
Thank you so much for those 5 gift subs, and that completes level 2 of the hype train. This is getting out of hand, singing Mexican. Are you kidding? It never was in hand. Do it! Yes, we're gonna get over.
Let me add some value.
Anticipation.
Let me add some value.
Better call Sean with 300 bits. Thank you so much.
Let me add some value.
Coding Gorilla with another 20. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Riding
oh my
that
goodness.
Train.
Indeed. Where is... Why am I getting echo?
Let me add some value.
Oh my gosh. Azure Sharp. And here. There we go. Welcome to the party. The train is hot. Oh my goodness. We're gonna go for 5 minutes in party mode. And we want a different hat. The Blazor hat, no less. Oh my goodness.
Let me add some value.
It's still in the in my bag behind me here. 888 bits from Twitch Loft. Thank you so much. It is a party now. Any hat, my choice. Oh my goodness. And Copper Beardy with another 42. We're making huge donations to code.org today. T-Pain mode, little bit. I wanted to show you. I will grab a hat. I've got the Doctor Strange hat right here. I'll grab that in a second. But I want to show you, we got some new emotes, new logos coming for January. Look at this, friends. I've got a new header to put on Twitch featuring the bot. There we go. Doctor Strange mode activated. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna sing all around the world. No, not gonna do that. Welcome on in. We want to go to Comic Sans for 15 minutes. Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely. We're on the level 3 hype train. 2 minutes for another 26%. Oh my goodness. It is out of control. Oh my goodness. Copper Beardy with 42 bits. Thank you so much. This is crazy. So, you're going to see more of the bot on channel, and I have 4 new emotes we're going to roll out. I've got a crying bot. Are you kidding? You want me to go on party mode for 5 more minutes? All right, we will do that. Robert Tables with another 300. Thank you so much. Extending that train. We made it. Azure Sharp with 4 gift subs. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Gifts into the community and donations to code.org. Simon Jeering, Confission, Skohorn, TW, and I can't pronounce that last one. Jules. Congratulations. You just got subscriptions to the channel. Thanks to our friend Azure Sharp as we ride the hype train. Thank you so much. And we want to, okay, hang on. Copper Beardy, I'm going to have to hold off on that one. But we're going to go to Comic Sans for 15 minutes. We're going to do party time for another 5. Oh, yeah. But the papyrus request we're gonna have to hold for next time, and we'll hit it then. Oh my gosh. Can we make it to level 5? Can we do level 5? Oh my goodness. We're in the middle of level 4 of the hype train. 39% there. Tons of hype. So some of the emotes that I have coming, you can see them here. We've got arms and we've got hands that we're going to be adding into the emote collection here. And I need to figure out which emotes to remove. Which ones are we going to deprecate? And we're going to introduce the arms and hands of the robot. Oh my goodness! I am not myself with 5 gift subs into the channel. Copper Beardy with some bits. Thank you so much for that. 5 gift subs from I am not myself. There they are. And we're gonna make 5 more donations to code.org. Twitchmaster PT checks mix. Dames 101. HTR Dev and Glards. Congratulations, you all just got subscriptions. Kim Philpotts with the sub. I've lost control. I don't know how to do this. This is insane. Thank you so much for all the hype. Kim with the 10-month sub streak. Very cool. Thank you so much for all of that support. Kim's another member of the Live Coders, just like Frank Buchero's there. And I am not myself. More gift subs. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. That's it. Thank you. Bat Xbox. Vombatiform. Trunkalunka. Cute Polano. Ertus 11. You just got gift subs. We're going to make 5 more donations to code.org. And we need to extend party mode for 5 more minutes. 3.5 minutes left on the level 5 hype train. Thank you so much. This is tremendous. Thank you. I really appreciate the bits and subs like Musical Bookworm. 300 bits. Thank you. Thank you very much for your support. Oh my goodness. Robert Tables with the host. Azure Shark with another 500. Thank you. Thank you very much, my friend. You are off the hook today. That is great. It's 3:45 and you have no idea what's going on. You've woken in a dream. No, it's party time. The hype train is hot here on Twitch, and we're gonna support some stuff at code.org. Some folks at code.org, and we're hopefully gonna get back into some code here. This whole segment needs highlighting. Maybe 3 more gift subs into the channel. Azure Sharp, thank you. Oh my goodness. Freebird, no, I'm not singing. 100 bits from Azure Sharp. Congratulations. Chat room, we just hit level 5 complete. Thank you so much, everybody out there. That is amazing. Wow. All of that support, I appreciate so much. We're gonna make some folks at code.org, we're gonna make them pretty happy. I hope all of you that got gift subs here at the channel, at Azure Sharp, thank you so much for your contributions. I hope all of you that got gift subs, you hang out, you join us as we write some code, as we do some fun things with our robot, with our Blazor components, and we have a good time together here. Thank you. We got 3 minutes left on the voice changer. Whew. Wow. Oh, the hype. Yeah. We've overpumped at the gas station, says Robert Tables. A little bit. The real winners of the hype train, Hugo. I gotta highlight that. I'm gonna call that out. Where to go? I can't even get back to it. Can you put that in? Can somebody put that into featured chat? The real winners of this hype train is code.org. They're gonna help the kids There we go. Thank you. Electric Havoc, thank you for the bits. 500 bits. Another donation to code.org. They're going to help kids here in the States learn computer science and technology through their efforts. And we just saw it here in December with the month of code, the hour of code. Really great stuff. Thank you so much. 3 minutes left, less than a minute on the hype train to go. Thank you so much for all of your support. This was really great. Sean has asked us to change our font to Comic Sans. This is Fierce Kitten's favorite font to use on Visual Studio. She tells me that this is how she codes. Let's head over there. Right. There we go. Yeah, Comic Sans. What do we got? Write something special below and give it some glitz in chat. What? You can absolutely do that with highlight your message. Level 5 hype train emotes. Wow. Wow. Thank you, everybody. Really cool to see that. All right. Got about 30 seconds left on the voice change. All right. Sing the code for my ASPX page. ASP TreeView. The sample TreeView, it runs on the server with some nodes. And now we're done. Okay, that was just a little crazy. That was just a little crazy? Oh my lord. All right. Back to Comic Sans. Let me make sure. That's 15 minutes on this. So we need a TreeView outer component. Woo! I'm a little dizzy.
Oh my.
So we're going to build a TreeView component. And we're going to start adding these features into it. So let's add a razor component here. And I'm going to have to bail here in just a few minutes as well. So we have a TreeView component. Okay, it's not actually outputting that, but we have the markup that it outputs. And I can see what that markup looks like. It's in my Before Web Forms project over here. So let me go start this. Thank you so much, everybody, for the hype train. That was amazing. That was so much fun. You should only do a bit of a pattern making tonight, then switch to code, sing, get raved up, and get a hype train going. You know, I didn't ask for the hype train. It just kind of appeared. But, gosh, we need to do... Friends, we got to crash Fierce Kitten stream tonight. Did it add an API hook for hype train events? I don't think so. But that was crazy fun. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support. Oh my goodness. How do we get a sentiment scored in the 70s with all that hype? I don't, you know what? See, this is one of the things we need to figure out with the sentiment is a way to make the sentiment respond to cheers and gift subs as an extremely positive event that happened. Let's go over. Here's what the HTML looks like that pops out of the TreeView when we actually render it. So we end up with a table, right? We end up with a series of tables here, and none of them are named Robert. That right up here, right? So we have a. So this outer one, what does this outer one have? So it has home, that one. Okay. And then there's a table. Let me scroll this back over. Ugh. Can I open that bigger? There we go. So there's the home element that appears here. Then there's a div for the table with one row for page 1. And is there another one entirely? So there's the link to page 1. What about section 1? Is section 1 a separate table altogether? Yeah. And then there's another table for, so each one of these is a table. That's going to be a little crazy. Yes, the Hansel Minutes podcast was released this week, today, and it has Scott's discussion with the Live Coders team. It's me interviewing Scott, some of our other Live Coder friends like Robert Tables, talking to Scott about some of the things that are necessary to manage and grow communities here on Twitch. So I think we end up needing, for each one of these elements, to create a table. There isn't like an outer table of markup that we end up creating. And we want to avoid the script that it wrote. Haha, I didn't say JavaScript. Oh, damn. There will be no JavaScript in this. Okay. So I think looking at the markup, that's the list view. I don't want the list view. Is this one the tree view? No, that's data list. Okay, let's get rid of these other ones. So I think the tree view itself doesn't do anything. TypeScript is better anyway. You're not wrong. But I think the tree nodes are what we want to render. So let's start with rendering those. So we have a nodes element that is a collection of tree nodes. Nodes element, that's a okay. So let's create a class here that's tree node. Well, hang on, I need the code behind. So I'm going to need TreeView Razor CS so that I have the code that goes with our markup. So I have this is a public partial class TreeView, right? Go away, come on. No, I'm still in debug mode. Whatever. This is going to have a property, right? Called, that's a collection of, is it an IEnumerable? Of what are going to be tree node? Was that it? Over here? Yeah, tree node. So we need to make a tree node. Generate type tree node. Yes, please. And we'll call this nodes. Thank you for the follow. Is that Royal Dino? Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. It is Heos Engine. It is nostalgic because we're modernizing the dickens out of it. See that? That was me censoring myself. See what happened there? Huh? All right.
What'd you do?
I didn't say damn. Oh, crap. Whatever. All right. So let's. Okay, so we have nodes and we have tree node. So tree node needs to have some markup that goes with it. So I'm actually going to rename this. I can't rename it while it's running. All right, fine. So I'm going to rename this to treenode.razor. So I end up with this. But I also need to add a tree node set of markup that we're going to render, right? So we're going to add a new component, Razor component, and we will call this tree node. Now, when we're rendering from hierarchical data, that easy for me to say, right? We're going to want to we're going to want to generate these on the fly from our data, right? The static scenario here is really the piece that we're working on here. What kind of project is this? This is a Blazor project. Check it out. Hierarchical. Yeah, I know, right? We are keeping it family friendly. Totally. Okay, so our tree nodes that get rendered. Rats. I tell you what, I'm going to. There. That's what they look like. Ugh. Whoa. This is trying to read this kind of markup.
Inconceivable!
No, we're not. I really don't want to do that. But each one of the nodes ends up creating a table, right? And depending on where it is in the hierarchy, it gets bumped over. So, does this mean? All right, hang on. So it's not really. Ooh, this is. All right, let me go back to TreeView. So I'm going to render the nodes, but I need to do a for each across the nodes, right? So I'm going to do something like for each var tree node in nodes, right? I want to render each one of those. So can I say wait a sec. Where's it getting some of these other things? Where'd it get some of that stuff? Thinking. I have no idea where it got some of these other properties. Because all I did was create the class. Yeah, I need to make that a partial. Right? And this is going to be a what is it? Base. Let's start with a base web forms component. So now see, it shouldn't have data source ID. How did it get that? I want to be able to render each one of those tree nodes like child components, right? Can I just output tree node like that and have it render like that? Or can I say render fragment's a type here, and the tree node isn't a render fragment. It's an element that's very much like itself its own component, right? Because I want to have these properties on. Let's start putting some of these properties on it. Value, navigate, URL, text, and target. These are all strings. Let's put those strings on there. Just to, not that one, this one. All right. Put some strings out here. You. Go over here. Thank you. So this is going to be value, and these are properties. So we want to be able to reference those. What do you mean install? Not properties, parameter. Oh boy. All right. add some of these other ones. Navigate URL. See, I am. And that's a parameter. Text. Right. And we're going to add target. It's funny, target is a leftover from frames. Ooh, yeah. You know, it'd be nice if we put these like in their actual order. So they were alphabetical. So I'm going to do a little shell sort, a little quick sort here. Get that done. All right. Now, tree nodes themselves can have a collection of tree nodes. But that's child content. That we want to render. Maybe nodes is just a child content. And it's not so much a collection of tree nodes. I know, frames, right? That wouldn't be too bad. Right? Think that through. Because then I just have a nodes element in my tree view, right? If this is... It's not really a render fragment, right? But it's child content inside of it. Tree node is a tree view, as each tree node can act as the head of a tree, but it doesn't have nodes. If I make this a render fragment... No, I didn't. Right? If I make this a render fragment, then, right, I'm just calling nodes here. Oh, I can change back. And I need to wrap up here. Where did it go? Cascadia code. I need to wrap up because I have some errands and things that I need to run here. If it's a render fragment, then I'm calling nodes there, which is... Right? Can I do then... Let's allocate control samples so that we can see what this looks like. Tree view, and I'm going to take this and this, copy it over here. Thank you for the follow, Estranged HD. Appreciate you tuning in. This is the TreeView component page, and we're going to listen on TreeView. And for right now, I'm going to comment these out. And I need a navigation. So here. Move that over there. And we're going to go to that location. Okay. So, here's a simple static tree view. Get rid of all this, because we shouldn't have any code to go with it. Tree view, right? And our markup had an ID and a run at. That's fine. I'll carry that across. Sample tree view run at equals server. So that kind of carries across. So nodes, did I miss? Where'd it go? Render oh, I forgot to put parameter on this. Okay. So that should go away. Right? In Copperbeardy, we will go to Papyrus mode first thing next time. I just want to write a little bit of code here to go with this. And we'll roll things over in a minute. There we go. So I have nodes. Have a good one, Frank. That hype train was crazy. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out Frank Boucheros. He's another live coder here on stream. Here on Twitch. There we go. All right. Thank you for the shout out. So inside of these, oh, okay. So now I want to be able to put tree node, right? And if we have these expanded, we need to add expanded as a boolean here. That's not too bad. Don't know what to do with it yet, but we have it. So now we have a tree node. And, right, we should be able to build. And this is where, to Blazor Mr. Magoo's point, we're going to start to get into some recursion. Why did the build fail? The name true does not exist in the current context. Really? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? This is capital T for true. Okay, so that built successfully. Come here, you. I saw the edit helper pop up there. Don't you? There it is. Format element. Oh, come on. You're not going to show me the... Alright. If that's capital, I mean, I'm not going to fight that too much. So this should... It's not going to render anything yet. But we should be able to run and see what that looks like right now. Back to normal voice. That's right, Chicken Wing. I can fix that for you. I'm happy to go back to another voice, but we're going to be wrapping up here in just a second. Yes. There you go. So all it does right now is say tree node because our tree node has this element there. So we need to format this appropriately with some of the markup that we've learned about over here so that we can generate and produce some more content there. Just switch to Cascadia code. What took you so long? Indeed. So what's interesting here is that the tree node, let me just copy in the first bit of code here for the top level one. And we'll change this back, right? Let's do a Control H, and we're going to replace that all across the board on this document. And we're going to go find the GTs and turn those into these. There we go. So that we're okay with up top. This one, we're going to need to figure out an ID for this. Okay. And this href to toggle the node, we're going to have to change that. This is going to need to become some code here. The image we have, check this out. So this is totally a thing that we can grab from our component library here. We can have it go to slash BlazorWebFormsComponents slash TreeView slash, and now we need to get the, based on the appropriate state here, whether it's node collapsed or node expanded. I'm going to just grab node collapsed, but I fully expect to change this so that that image source changes whether our collapse state is appropriate. And actually, it looks like it should be expanded. So I'm not even going in and setting anything properly here just yet, just to get this thing rendered. And right now it just says home over there. Home was what was being passed in as the value, as the text. So you know what? Let's make this our text. Right, I can just say text. And we'll get the appropriate text for that first tree node. So I should be able to refresh, or not. Rats. Rats. Let me restart here and see if we can get this working. See what this looks like. All right. TreeView. So collapse home. Where did collapse home come from? Oh, you know what? It's because that is the alt text here because it can't find that component. It can't find that URL for this. That's funny. Is it because, do I need to have, it's not embedded resource. What is it to Blazor? No, it's a Razor component library. Chris Jones.
Chris Jones just resubscribed for 17 months.
Thank you so much, Chris, for the 17 months of support. I really appreciate that. And we'll make another donation to code.org. Gosh, where is it to put in? I forget how to package an image in that. With static assets, here we go. Exclude static assets? No, not TypeScript. Oh, we need to say use static web assets. All right. Right, and here we go. Underscore content library name. That's what I had wrong. Like that. And up here in these projects, where I'm actually consuming. Right, not just use configure web host defaults, use static web assets. So that's actually out here, right? Use static web assets. And we're going to need to add that to our WebAssembly version of this as well. Right? Not just create default builder, but configure web host defaults. Wait a sec. How do we do that over here? On the host builder in Yeah. Create default builder. Yeah. Configure web host defaults. And that's not a thing here. What am I doing wrong? Right? How do I get that use static web assets into... Should work with it. I don't think we're missing... Well, it's the hosting. We're not actually hosting. Yeah, I still don't have the component appearing. Right, when I package, create a class, library containing Blazor UI. Page layout, static assets. To include companion assets, create a www root folder in the class library and include any required libraries. When packing, all companion assets are automatically included in the package. So down here, these are automatically included in the package, it's saying. Okay. Not doing TypeScript. Consume content from it. Underscore content slash library name slash. So, right, that tells me, so underscore content, right, slash BlazorWebFormsComponents, BlazorWebFormsComponents, slash TreeView, slash nodeexpanded.gif. So, why isn't it seeing that content? I'm gonna have to experiment and get back to this. I have a bunch of things I need to get to here, and I am gonna need to leave this as my to-do to pick up with TreeNode here. So let me finish up here.
Finish him.
Yes, and clean things up so that we can come back and work on this next time. I'm gonna go back over to source control over here. Let's grab all those files that we wrote, add them, started work on rendering tree nodes. There we go. And I will push those out so that I can pick up right there next time. There's a bunch of issues out there in the project. If you're interested, if you want to dig in and take a look, maybe help out a little bit, there's always room for documentation. There's room for unit tests out here. If that's your thing, you're more than welcome to help out. And if you see something that you think needs to be added to the project, you're more than welcome to open an issue out here on GitHub. Remove the leading slash. We'll take a look at that. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody tuning in today. Thank you so much for the hype train. All of that really great support there, especially Azure Sharp. My goodness. Thank you so much for being the conductor on that train. That was terrific. I really appreciate that. And the real winners are the folks at code.org. I'm going to peek around at Twitch TV and see if there's somebody out there that we can support. And I'm carrying over a redemption from Copperbeardy to next time on Sunday. I'll be back, and we'll start in papyrus mode when we get over there. There's a couple folks out here that I'm thinking about raiding. Who could we raid? You know what? I think I want to keep the Blazor train moving. And I think I see... Do I see that? Yes. We haven't raided this fella in a while. Let me put out the raid call. Let's get ready. We're going to head over and raid my friend Ed Charbonneau. If you're a subscriber, grab the first line right here. If you're not a subscriber, grab the second line, copy that onto your clipboard, and get ready as we go see our friend Ed Charbonneau, who's working on a Blazor component as well. There we go. Thank you so much, friends. It was a lot of fun today. This video, like my other videos, will be available over on YouTube. We'll edit out the information there that we had about dependency injection and how that worked. And I'd like to grab a highlight of our donation to St. Jude and make sure we share that on social media so folks know that we're an inclusive place here that encourages and does things for charity. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Copy those lines out of chat there. Get ready to say hello to Ed, and I will see you next time, friends. Take care.